I think it's really important to not associate any supporter of a particular candidate with the most extreme version of a supporter of that candidate. This goes for people that like DeSantis, that like Trump, and even people that like Biden. If you suggest, for example, that every DeSantis supporter is akin to some of the people that you see online that are like, if not DeSantis, burn the whole thing down, vote for Biden, don't vote at all. Or every Trump supporter is a person that's like, trust the plan, Donnie's swinging upside down from a Black Hawk helicopter, he lives in a pineapple under the sea, and Baron Trump is Julius Caesar. Or that every Biden supporter wants to slice and dice a kid's pen 15. When we associate a person that supports a candidate with the most extreme version of a person that also supports the candidate, you're essentially closing the door to any discussion or understanding of how that person might have got there. And certainly for convincing them to believe otherwise, or at the very least understanding their perspective to begin with. The person that thinks Donnie is some otherworldly deity that was sent by the savior to save America and can do no wrong. Or a DeSantis supporter is some type of never-Trumper turncoat of sorts. Or that a person that thinks Biden is the best candidate because they don't want, let's say, the ideologies of the right because maybe they disagree with the abortion stance, for example. If you just associate those people with that thing, all discourse is eliminated, we all get boxed in, and there can be no understanding. Looking at things in this way is particularly dangerous as it portends that you deal only in absolutes. Meaning that a person that supported, let's say, Donnie, for example, can only exist in a silo where they support Donnie. Same goes for a Biden supporter or even a DeSantis supporter or whoever. Because many people who fall in these non-absolute categories are underrepresented in the discussion. So for example, let's say you support Donnie and then you see a person that supports DeSantis. If a lot of the people that you know that support DeSantis never liked Donnie, never voted for Donnie, never wanted Donnie, but like DeSantis and say, burn it down if not DeSantis. Then in your mind, you're looking at it like, well, every DeSantis supporter is some type of turncoat, backstabber, never liked Trump, would never vote for him again or whatever. Same goes with Donnie. There's a lot of people that like DeSantis, would vote for DeSantis, but just didn't like that he ran, or didn't think that he was ready, or thought Trump deserved it, or whatever. And they are not to be chalked up in the same category of people that just think Trump could do no wrong and is a deity. There's a lot of gray area that's underrepresented in the online discussion. And because of that, people are putting people in these boxes of absolutes. Chalking up a person to the most extreme supporter of that candidate allows you to remove the humanity or delicate nature by which that person went through to come to that decision in the first place. It's like you dehumanize, you decouple from them being rational, which then ultimately leads to them being your theoretical enemy, which is counterproductive. All of us, myself included, need to get better at differentiating between these delicate choices. Because if you're like, oh, what, you're voting blue? What do you want to cut my kid's junk off? You afraid of the air? The conversation ends. There's no humanity. There's no belief that that person is operating in the same universe as you. They have no rational thought. I have a fair amount of liberal friends, and they're not insane, and not every one of them believes whole cloth in all of the crazy things that they espouse. And same goes for the right. And same goes for other members of the right, that we need to understand how they got to that conclusion. Because you want to know the truth? If you voted for Vivek or for Donnie or for DeSantis or even for Nikki Haley or even for Biden, you're not my enemy. You may not believe in totality in what that person says. And even if you do, you're still not my enemy, as you are not wholly responsible for what that person is putting into place. Because our real enemies is not who we're fighting with online. Because if there was to ever be some type of unity in the peasant class, in the non-elites, this type of understanding would be the unity that we actually need. It's not that we need to be unified in what specific policies or people we choose to lead, but we need to be unified in understanding that each other may come to different conclusions. And at the end of it all, the real enemies, the ones that are really controlling us, no matter which side we choose, that is our only real enemy.